Good morning and welcome back to the 6 a.m. Club where we start our day inspired. Today, here, literally next to me, I have a VIP guest, probably the most important guest that I've ever had on my podcast. And that is my daughter, Michelle. Say hi, Michelle.
Hi.
And Michelle, how old are you?
6.
And what grade are you in?
First grade.
She just started school today. And she's joining me today for the 6 a.m. Club. So let's dig into today's quote of the day. And, this week was my birthday last Monday. We are coming up to the end of my birthday week. And I have really taken this week to celebrate my birthday, but also to reflect. I hope that you listen to the couple of episodes that I published this week around my birthday check-in tradition and my lessons learned from the last year. And then midweek, I published a podcast on 10 must-have birthday traditions that you want to try and experiment with so you can build your own birthday traditions. And one birthday tradition of mine, or one birthday ritual of mine, is to reflect in the year that I'm leaving behind and to reflect on the year that it's coming ahead. And today's quote, I think it's a great quote to remind ourselves on our birthday or our birthday week. And that is, if you love life, don't waste time, for time is what life is made of. And I love this quote, and it was so timely for me because I've been reflecting a lot about exactly this, time. Time is the one and only resource that is not renewable. It's the one resource that we have that if we don't use, we lose. Every day, and you probably have heard this analogy, but every day we are given 43,200 seconds in the day. I think I did my math correctly. But imagine that instead of units of time, it was money. Imagine that every morning when you wake up, you get $43,200 or whatever your local currency is to spend during the day. And when you go to bed, that money will be gone, will not be on your bank account anymore. And every morning when you wake up, you have that amount of money. And then when you go to bed, that money is gone. What will you do? And I paused for a second because when I heard about this analogy, I had to pause for a second and really reflect on this, right? What would I do with that money? You could say I would save it, but you can't. It will be gone by the end of the day. And the same happens with time. At the end of the day, it's gone. And you can't save it for later. Either you use it or you lose it. So my invitation for you today is to reflect on precisely this. How are you using your time? Are you using your time in the things that you're passionate about, in the things that you love, in the things that bring you fulfillment, in the things that bring you joy, in the things that make you happy? Or are you wasting your time in things that are having the complete opposite impact on you? And a lot of times we prioritize our time during the day based on urgencies, based on our reaction to what is coming at us, instead of stopping for a second and thinking, what is the best use of my time right now? We tend to plan time in the long term of all the things that we want to do a year ahead or 2 or 5 or 10 years in the future, right? We have big dreams for all the things, all the experiences, all the memories that we want to build. But when it comes to our day, we underestimate the power of those 24 hours. And I think our lives will feel completely different if we were more intentional about our days and the time in our days. Every moment in our days being intentional on how we're using our time. And not to the point of micromanaging our time and being obsessed with time, but rather being intentional with what we're doing. So one thing that I love to do at the beginning of the day is to set intentions for the day. And then I write on a Post-it note my 3 non-negotiables for the day. And when I started this practice, all 3 things were work-related. And as time went by, I realized that I was being very productive, but then I was going to bed not feeling fulfilled at all. So what I started to do is set intentions on how I wanted to show up and how I wanted to spend my day. And when it came to my 3 non-negotiables from the day, 1 out of the 3 needs to be non-work related. Needs to be with any other area of my life. It could be something that I do with my kids or my husband. It can be something that I do with friends or for friends, or something that I do with myself for myself. Whether is, exercise, whether was reflection, whether was reading to a book, whatever. I think that if we become more intentional with time, we will value life more. We will enjoy life more, and we will be more fulfilled at the end of our day. So that is our episode for today. I hope this was inspirational. I want to thank my special guest, Michelle, for joining me today. Thank you for being here with me, honey.
You're welcome.
I hope that one day we can do a podcast episode together. What would you think about that?
No.
No?
Yeah, no.
Maybe one day. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will talk to you again on another episode of the Leading Yourself podcast.